What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop. So park your ass right there. And right there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you'll see a Patreon account. If you click it and become a member, all you got to do is try. Recommend movies and music and trailers me to react to. So click the damn link. Go ahead and check that Patreon out. And right now, we're going to go ahead and give you guys a review of the brand new spin-off series to Bird Box called Bird Box Barcelona. So let's go ahead and start talking about this, shall we? This show is starring Mario Casas as Sebastian, the main lead in the show. And I've been following his career unintentionally for a very long time. He was in a good movie called The Invisible Guest, another good movie called The Bar, another great movie called The Paramedic, and another really good movie called The Occupant. If you have not seen any of those movies, I believe they're all available on Netflix, and they're really amazing movies, and you should check them out. This show is also directed by, or movie, I called it a show. This movie is also directed by Alex and David Pastor. They are very familiar with like post-apocalyptic movies because they did The Last Days and The Carriers. This movie, according to the synopsis on IMDb, it follows Sebastian and his daughter Anne as they're traveling through the post-apocalyptic world and making uneasy alliances with people. That synopsis does not give this movie justice at all. This movie takes a very fresh new approach to the Bird Box movie. So, like, what I was afraid of was that the original Bird Box movie was so original, it was fun, it was good watch, and I was afraid that this was just going to kind of just be another version of that movie, right? I thought it was going to be the exact same movie, but just like, okay, this is now it's happening in Barcelona, but it's the same fucking movie. That's what I was really worried about. But Lord and behold, it was actually something different. This movie takes an unexpected turn about 20 minutes in, and it goes a whole new direction with the story. And the reason I'm not spoiling it is because if the synopsis ain't spoiling it, I ain't spoiling it. So it takes to me, it takes a brand new approach to the movie, and it goes a whole different direction with it. And by doing this keeps to me, it kept the storyline fresh. It made me feel like I was watching kind of like a different movie at times. It didn't feel like the same movie. The characters were very interesting, and watching this character development throughout the movie was kind of interesting as well. Also, by taking this different approach, we learn a little bit more about these creatures that are causing these people to commit suicide. So if you guys don't remember Bird Box, basically one day these people just wake up and they see people killing themselves. And what it is when they make eye contact with these creatures kind of like hypnotize them in order to into killing themselves. So you have everybody walking around society kind of blindfolding themselves and shielding their eyes from the world. But again, I mean, I can't really go into huge details about it, but I will tell you this. The take on the show is phenomenal. Like, I mean, it's a different approach. It goes a different route with it. And by taking this route, it comes off as fresh. It doesn't come off like it's trying to mimic the previous film. That again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I was really afraid that this was going to be the exact same damn movie. But Mario does a really good job at being the lead in this movie. If you don't like subtitles, you can obviously switch it for English audio. But like I wasn't in the mood to read subtitles. I just wanted to watch the movie. But truth be told, if I was really like in the mood to sit down and watch it, I probably would watch it in Spanish and just kind of go along and basically read the subtitles because it kind of gives you more of an authentic feel of how the movie was supposed to play out, and it really gives you a sense of how well the actor does in form of like emoting their emotions when scenes are coming up. So this is a very drastic scene. You'll see how well and how capable that actor is of bringing out that range within themselves. You don't really get that authentic feel with voice actors and dub overs, because the whoever's dubbing it is just going to kind of just do their best at sounding like what they assume the character is going to sound like. But I digress. The reason why I brought this up is because I remember watching specific shows, and I like this Spanish actor by the name of Jose Coronado, right? And I hate his dub actor's voice. The actor that dubs his voice, like I'm not really fond of him because he sounds absolutely nothing like him, and it bothers me. So his shows I gotta watch in Spanish. But anyway, the acting in the show is fine. Not fine. The acting in the show is good. The characters in the show are also very interesting. I mean, when you have the set group of people that we follow, I think it's a very interesting group of people. I think that the uniqueness of each character and what they bring to the table, it was an opportunity to kind of flex and kind of show off some things, but that wasn't very long lived, and it's okay. Um, let's see how the climax of the movie. The climax of the movie to me, it was very interesting. And the reason why it was very interesting is because it involves a lot of character development. You don't really get that in like post-apocalyptic movies, right? Example, Train to Busan, right? Train to Busan is an emotional movie that just so happens to be within a zombie movie. You don't really get that with those kind of movies. And with this movie where you have alien invaders or some sort of illness or some sort of disease or something that's plaguing the world, you don't really get that kind of character development. You usually get like, a sacrifice or something, right? An act of selflessness. But in this movie, the main character has problems that he himself has to work out throughout the movie. And it's really interesting to see that play out until the end of the movie. And then also what his character does and what this story does is it pushes the Bird Box franchise into different avenues. It can actually push it out further. We learn a little bit more about, again, these creatures that came, what they're capable of doing, and how far they can take these stories. So, truth be told, I think this show did a lot more than it's getting credit for. I feel like a lot of people are kind of coming and shunning this show, and they're kind of giving it kind of a hard, not show, but this movie and giving it a hard time because I think they came into this expecting, I guess, the hype that we got from Bird Box. But at the same time, you have to understand this, and I want to make this very clear. This is a Spanish movie. And the fact that it's a foreign movie is automatically going to turn people off. Why people do this, I don't fucking know. But people were probably going to get turned off to the fact that this was a foreign movie. And even though they don't have to read subtitles, it's dubbed already. People are still going to turn their nose up because it doesn't involve American actors. It doesn't involve the famous American name tied to it, like the first movie did. And people are just going to act all sedity and uppity. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't watch this movie, you're missing out because, again, this movie expands on the lore that we learned from the first movie. We learn more about the state of the world and how they're approaching dealing with these creatures. You learn more about the effects that these creatures have on people, and you kind of learn about the overall more game plan that these creatures have. It's a lot to take in. Again, I feel like it does a whole lot more world building in this movie than it did the first movie. But that's just my opinion. But definitely, I would recommend watching this movie. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our grading system. Here on the Cinema Chop Shop, we grade movies in 3 ways. Count on 3 ways you get bodied and sent to the bowels of hell. And I tell you your movie's basura, homie. Or I give you a big fat meh, which means it's más o menos, mediocre, mid-range, mid. Or I say it's spared. I tell you that it's great. It's amazing. Stop what you're doing. Go check it out. Watch it right now. Although this movie does have a 2-hour runtime, it does not feel like that. And I'm going to go ahead and spare this movie.
He ain't earned the death. He ain't earned the death at my hands. God's only man, spared by the butcher.
Yeah, you heard it, folks. I'm sparing this movie. This movie does a really good job at expanding on the Bird Box mythos. I think it is a really good installment into the series. I thought it was really interesting of them to go to another country. I thought it was also very interesting of them to involve, take a different approach with the storyline and don't make it so very atypical as I was afraid that they were going to do. The cast does a really great job in this movie, even though it's dubbed. You can watch the original Spanish voiceovers if you want to. I kind of would wish I would have did that, but it's all right. I mean, that's a conversation for another day. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Let me know in the comment section down below, what did you think? Did you guys enjoy the show? Did you not like this movie? Did you think it doesn't hold up nothing but a candle to the other movie? Just let me know in the comment section down below. And you're now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Hope you guys are magnificent day. Adios, homies.